Okay, so can everybody hear me? Thank you very much. Good morning. This is a remote presentation. Hello from Munich, Germany. It's cold and sunny, and I wish I would be in Istanbul. So thanks first of all for having me. Thanks to my friend Ahmet Gülüm and Emir Bursa and to Octagon and Sportsnet. It's a pleasure. And today's presentation is about sports brands and the identities they come with. And so I just thought I'd quickly introduce myself. My name is Markus Schmidt. I'm the CEO and Creative Director of UnitedSenses. And my background is advertising and television. So I worked at Germany's television Pro7 as a creative director. And 15 years ago, I founded UnitedSenses, which is a creative agency working in the field of media and sports. So I hope I can click my presentation. Let's see. Yes, it works. So just to give you a quick impression of what we do, it's based on visual identities for the big screen. So we work for clients from the media industry, but also from sports. So we have clients like the UEFA, FIFA, Fiba, FC Bayern, Bundesliga, the Biathlon Union, and lucky enough also a client from Turkey, TRT Sport. And so I will have a couple of case studies today to present to you and hopefully explain a bit better what we did there. And to get you into the mood, I brought you some eye candy, a showreel, which also presents some of our beliefs. So let's play that now. So you have a little bit of an, oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. You have a little bit of an impression of what we do. So here's a few things, what we think the future will bring. First of all, the last thing on live TV will be a sports event and most likely a football game. And I think we all agree that also in tomorrow's world, there will be screens everywhere. Where you had print today and posters, there will be screens. And so sports brands will have to transform into entertainment brands to be part of today's life. We are competing not only against other sports, we are competing for eyeballs, for the time of people to spend it with us. And the good thing is, they will share emotional moments and stories across all platforms. All these stories do exist. You don't have to make them up. Sports tells the greatest stories, and that's something to build on. And sports brands, other than other brands, they don't have clients and customers, they have fans. And that can be capitalized. Creating a big brand and creating a powerful brand will also come with commercial value. So 2016, the Champions League, the UEFA Champions League brand was estimated for 4.1 billion US dollars brand value alone. So you see that the brand has a value which it can bring into account when talking to partners, when talking to sponsors, when asking for advertising money. So people will always go with the biggest brand. And we would love to boost this transformation of brands because we have the mix of know-how. We know sports, we know branding, and we know media. A quick word about brands, and I'm pretty sure it has been mentioned before because this whole conference is about brands. But strong brands look better, stay longer, pay better. The thing is, they look better, of course, because they are thought through. There is a strategy behind. It's not just the design. And that's also why they stay longer. You can change your design like every week, but you should not change your brand. That's a strategic long-term investment. And therefore it pays back because the brand, once it's built up, it will create value permanently for whoever owns this brand. The problem is, the brand is not what we say. We are writing brand books, and within the marketing circles, we are discussing positioning statements and so on. But the brand is rather what they say. So what's the audience repeating to us when we ask them about our brand? And they are people like this guy, and they couldn't care less about what we're doing. So our brand strategy has to be very sharp. We have to cut through the clutter. We have to create an image inside the mind of the consumer. That is what we are talking about. So I'm sorry. Go back. So the image inside of the mind of the consumer is what our brand is like. And only once this image is in full synchronization with what we are doing, we have a good brand. The downside about that is this is a typical brand. It's very, very slow. It has a very slow acceleration. You can't turn it around in no time. It takes very, very wide turns. The good thing is it has no brakes. So when the brand gets moving, it keeps moving. And that's the opposite to something which is just a short campaign or some short-sighted strategy. So that's part of our slogan, think before you brand. You can't change your positioning every now and then because you will lose the attention and the credibility with your consumer. Okay, after this, here is the content directory for today's presentation. I brought you 3 cases. 1 case from your country, 1 case from my country, and 1 case for every country. So TRT Star or Yildiz is the, let's say, it was called TRT Sport 2 before. It is a brand which was recently created before the Olympics. FC Bayern Munich is my football club. It's where I come from. It's, you know, you can't choose which football fan you become because you're born into it. And lastly, Fiba, which is the International Basketball Federation, and we just recently rebranded their global TV presence. First case study, TRT Sport. It's the TV branding for a newly relaunched channel with a single-minded approach. So there is a new logo. It's a star. It's, as you can see, it's the Turkish star with the Turkish colors. But the slogan is all colors of sport. And why is that? It was basically almost 2 years ago when everyone was preparing for an Olympic year, which was then happening just a year later. And it came to the attention that there is more than just football. There are so many Olympic sports which usually do not get the attention they deserve. And so the plan was to launch the channel with a bit of a different focus, which is not only football. And if you look at the content directory of TRT Sport today, and you still see there is a lot of football, but there is other sports, and they are not as widely represented, and therefore this new channel was launched. And we came up with a single-minded concept, which is something we strongly believe in when making brands and branding. We said we want to use the ribbons, the colors of the Olympic rings to create the identity of the channel. And not only the identity, but to create every bit and piece of the packaging of the channel should be made of the colors and of the shapes of the Olympic rings. And if you look at the logo we did for Tokyo, you see what we mean. So there is all the Olympic colors, and they create a space, and they create new entities in which our content can live. So you have the ingredients for a strong visual concept, the Olympic color ribbons, Olympic colored athletes, which you will see in a second, and we have created an audio package which is fan focused and which builds on the crowd and the emotion. So one by one, Olympic color ribbons. You see, you can build like fancy stuff from that, and you can build graphic spaces. You have Olympic colored athletes. We have called this the Harlequin Effect because these colors, they sort of run through their veins, basically. And they're representing different sports. And they're always living and performing inside this branded space. And let us also do work for the promotion. So the on-air promotion packaging is also produced with these ribbons. Here is a pack shot which shows the program of the day. Here is a scoreboard which shows the results of the league. There is even a news show which is made from these ribbons. And of course, we also have a little bit of football, because there was this other event which was also delayed, which is the Euro. We also created it in the Olympic ribbon colors to fit to the overall brand of the channel. And then we had this other thing, which was the reason for the delay, which was a pandemic that we're all still suffering from. And so we couldn't create a big live shoot. Usually we love to shoot with a film camera, with live athletes, and create some nice and crazy stuff. This time we only had one athlete, and we asked him to perform for us, and we captured his motion. So he's wearing a suit, which is recording the motions that he makes. So you see, we did this, and then we turned it into a 3D skeleton, a 3D sculpture of an athlete, and we dressed him in the outfit of our Olympic athletes, and then we have a package, and it's like talking about design is like tap dancing about architecture. So I would love to show the result of the branding. I think many of you have seen it, but probably not in a compilation like this. Enjoy. All right, so this was whatever happens when I click twice. So because we have no time, I run straight to the second case study. It's FC Bayern Munich. I would say one of the biggest football clubs in the world, for sure one of the most successful clubs in the world. And it's probably one of the clubs that many international teams do not really want to play against. You can ask FC Barcelona just from this week. And this project was actually 2 years ago, so it's not the very latest because we're working on a new film now. But it was to our surprise that this big club, FC Bayern, they do not have a brand film. They do have a brand strategy. They have an image that they would like to foster and that they would like to communicate. But whenever they had presentations with partners, big clients, sponsors, they showed a PowerPoint presentation. And instead showing a PowerPoint presentation for 15 minutes, we were producing a 2-minute video, which was telling the story of the brand and adding some emotion, because audio-visual has just so much more potential than a PowerPoint presentation. So here was the brief. It's basically 120 years of club history, which basically exists only in video archive footage, obviously not 120 years old, but from the latest history. And it had a typical brand identity because it did not move. And the funny thing is, and we experienced that in many of our other projects as well, whenever we come to clients, they do have a brand, they do have a brand identity, but it's made for print. And over 50% of today's communication for brands, corporate communication, is video. And over 90% of the corporate identities that exist are print. So we said what would help to tell the story and also to deliver the brand message in every moment of the video would be what we call a motion branding toolkit. So we created a lot of things, a lot of brand identity elements, templates, logo animations, which go further than just this video, which can be now or will or have been now applied to all other screens, to social media, to Instagram, to YouTube, to their own club TV channel. And so we were trying to tell the story with the help of the brand and with the help of the branding. And the story goes like, there is this beautiful Allianz Arena. I think it's one of the most beautiful football stadiums in Europe. And we have these very typical Bavarian fans, which are wearing lederhosen and whatever cliche you think of, they have it. We have a chorus of a crowd which is all dressed in red, which is singing Bayern, Bayern, because on a not pandemic day, 75,000 fans fit into the Allianz Arena. And there are fans around the world, in China and in the US. And they are here for a long time because we have superstars from the past. Bavaria, the Bayern has won as many championships as no other club in Germany. This is Franz Beckenbauer, maybe some of you remember him. We have heroes of the past like Gerd Müller, who was one of the most successful strikers in the football history. We have legends of today like Philipp Lahm, who was the captain of the German national team. We have horrible moments like the missed penalty in the Champions League final where Bastian Schweinsteiger missed the goal against Chelsea. And beautiful moments like the year later when they won the Champions League. There is a club which thinks about the future, which has a football academy, which is fostering young talent, which is having a very good relationship to his sponsors, like Allianz, which is a huge insurance company, and also a very close relationship to his fans. And some people might say they don't like FC Bayern, and this guy madly loves FC Bayern, but everybody respects FC Bayern. And we were trying to put all of that into a 2-minute thing. We composed some music. We created a storyline with a narrator that was giving away the story. And even if you're a FC Bayern fan or not, but I think you get a big picture of what this brand is about and how powerful this brand can be in the future. Let's play the video.
We are born in the South. This is our country and our city. We have become Germany's biggest football brand. Global players on the international stage. We are 75,000 passionate fans, week in, week out, at home in one of the world's most beautiful arenas. Connected with the millions watching around the globe. On all channels and platforms. We are Germany's all-time champions. Just 120 years young. Inspired by our heroes of the past and the living legends. We celebrate the Bavarian way. And when we fail, we come back even stronger. We are a big football family, true team players, full of respect, loyalty, and fair play. We are one of the most successful sports brands, responsible long-term partners, investing in the future of sport and business. We never stand still, striving to be the best, powered by our passion and love for the beautiful game. We help shape the present and future of our sport. We are red and white, respected by everyone, loved by millions. We are FC Bayern.
All right. Next one. So this last case study is Fiba. And that's something we're pretty proud of because it's an innovation in sports branding. As many of you know, Fiba is the International Basketball Federation. And it is a huge federation. It's basically the size of FIFA, but it doesn't have the likes of UEFA. So it only has a global federation roof, and then you have the national federations, but there is no continental divisions. So it owns all the international events where national teams play against each other. And they asked us to have a motion identity because they want to create a package for all their TV broadcasts around the world, and they have a lot. They had 25 different tournaments coming up only in the next 2 years, which means they need to create 25 sub-brands. They need to create 25 TV packages, be it for the World Championships or for the European Championships or for the African Cup or for the Under-17 or the Olympic qualifiers. And that will create a big confusion of designs and brand messages. And the bad thing is you would promote the individual event and then it will be gone after it's finished, but you will not promote Fiba. So what we did is the Fiba Motion Toolkit, which is create of modules. It's a modular branding package, and it can be adapted to promote the individual events. And it's based on what we call the Fiba grid, which is, as you can see, a basketball court. And have a look. Looks very simple. Actually, that's the foundation of the whole design package. Funny enough, it consists of 15 different boxes, and We Are Basketball has 15 letters. And then we said, okay, why don't we create a branding machine which works with these 15 boxes, and you can fill the boxes in a way so you feed in the individual tournament branding, and it creates a tournament sequence which looks like Fiba but promotes the individual event. So here is what we did. Sorry, this happens all the time, I'm sorry. We use the different assets that a branding package comes with. So there is, first of all, typography. That's how you deliver the messages. And you see, even if you don't have 15 boxes, you can fill the rest. So Live the Emotion works with 14 and a hashtag. Then you have a color coding. For example, for the next coming up men's European Championship, you have different host countries and you color them in a different color, which also works within that system. Then you have individual event branding assets. So there is like a neutral Fiba style, then there is a style for each tournament. They all have their own color code, and you can feed that to the machine. Obviously, you have logos of the events or of the federation. And we thought, of course, you need footage. You need to show the basketball action. And the thing is, with footage, usually when it comes from archives, it has very, very different quality. So we decided we're not using video, but we want to use photos instead. And the good thing about photos is, usually they come in a very high resolution, they are super sharp, and we were mixing the photos of the different teams to create one gameplay. And here is how it looks. Okay, and that style can be adapted depending on whatever tournament you want to promote. You can either say, I'm only using African teams, only European teams, only under 17 players, and so on. And of course, you need an audio package. You need to create a visual branding and an audio branding that goes with it. And we said we want to have an audio branding that is based on basketball. So the bouncing of the ball created the pace and the rhythm, and the rest was to follow. Okay, and you hear this arcade sound that is taken from the sound that usually is played in the stadium and the arena, where you sort of create emotion with the audience and they sing along. And we were trying to create something which would sound like this. So here is for a little piece of German engineering, because we said we want to create a design machine. And actually our client now calls it the German design machine. So we were splitting up a typical opening sequence into chapters. And we said we want to have different options for each chapter. So you can pick and choose and drag and drop and create your own sequence by that. And it's made like this. It comes from different content bits and pieces, and it can be filled with life. Here is a quick example. So that's the machine, and here is what it produces. So there is like 20-second bits and pieces which you can package events, and these are the official global broadcast packagings for the different events. So this is for the Eurobasket for the women's. This happened in summer this year. This is the Afro basket, also this year. And this is the men's Eurobasket for next year. So basically, this is the proof of concept. We have created a toolkit, and we gave it to our client. And within the last 6 months, they have created 10 different packages for different competitions within literally no time, because they're just feeding the right elements to the machine. And let me give you a last quick overview of how that worked, and then we're basically done. So basically, that's in a nutshell a very fast-paced case study for basketball. What I think it does help Fiba to come up a lot stronger, to have a lot more brand reputation, a lot more brand presence throughout all of their tournaments, and which is a good thing. So it creates commercial value, because the more people the more people are reached by a brand, the more people recognize a brand, the more valuable the brand is. And I think there are a lot of great examples, and there are a lot of sleeping giants, and we would love to maybe think of brands like this one, because there is a huge potential if you apply all that to some of the brands in wherever you are. So thank you very much for your attention, and whoever wants to be in touch, here is the address. Thank you very much.